So at this point, hopefully you've been able to create your beautiful looking plot like the one here. And there's just a few more things that I would like to show you that you can do in here. So the first one that's very useful is this map visualizer tab. It's a little buggy, but if we put in the NLDN data, so load all the NLDN data, you can load the map. You can now see the entire storm for this day on our detector site, which is useful just for finding events in the same time range or of similar strength. It's cool to see that on this day our TGF was actually the strongest strike. And there's another one down here which is kind of interesting as well. There's also this button here, plot selected only. It gives you the distance calculated from our camera, the lat long, and the current. Very useful, just for when you're first analyzing your event, going over stuff, or you're just curious to look for other ones. And to undo that, you just hit load map. Another thing is the photometry tab. So you go ahead and load your photometer data. And I'm going to leave no time range on this. Error loading photometer data. If you get that error, it might be because we need this, the time, and update plot. One sec. Okay, I'm not sure what that issue was. I just reloaded the data and now it's working. So as you can see, hold on, let me do 0 and update plot. Yeah, so it's relative to some time. If we put in our actual event time of 025353, you can see when we actually zoom in on what we're interested in, which is 3244 to 32800, 00, update the plot. There's no data in the range. Why is that? Because the data is actually relative to 025352, not 025353. So the way that you do this is you do a second offset here, and it basically just subtracts a second. And once you put in 1 second here, apply offset, it works beautifully. Now the other important thing about the photometer that we care about is the ratios between these channels. And you can do that by showing the ratio plot below the waveforms, hitting update plot, just tick this box, and you can see all the ratios we care about. Now again, unfortunately, for our 2025 event, we cannot use the 777, so this is what our final plot will end up looking something like. And it's pretty cool. You can also see the raw voltage, the uncalibrated from irradiance, just the raw voltage to see each channel strength, which is sometimes useful to make sure that your calibration is correct and the instruments perform correctly. And that's just a ticker right there. And now going over to some of the other tabs that you see here. The first one being the photometer ratio. So this one looks like we need to put in the data, so I'm going to do that really quick. And then I'm going to hit load all data. Hopefully this works. Okay, you actually want to make sure that you set your plot range before you do anything, which I did not do. Update plot. Now we get what we want to see. Let's actually change this to like 345. And this is essentially just our main master plot with the photometer ratios below it. You can still toggle off the ones that we're not going to use and just have that. So pretty good. And now I'm on the flash overview tab, which is